That's far enough, brothers. This is what we came for. Aye. Remember.
Look to your swords!
Brother Barber, it's daybreak. Do you still labour?
I worry that I may not have time.
For what?
For this. For the true and perfect history of Scotland's greatest warrior king.
There's always tomorrow.
There's no guarantee of that at my age. I must to the task.
Why?
Why? For the very reason you have to ask. See, the memory begins to fade already. 3 generations have gone by, and you even have to ask why. That's why. Don't you see?
Perhaps he was a great man.
Oh, he was.
But he was mortal. Our thoughts should be on higher things. It's a secular tale, after all.
This was no ordinary man. This was the greatest warrior king in the history of Scotland.
I'm sure he was, old man. To put such a fire in those venerable bones of yours.
By the grace of God, we live in times of peace. But remember, only 50 years ago, this nation was in turmoil. Scotland's darkest hour. The forces of Edward, of England, held Scotland in fear.
Did our own king do nothing to prevent it?
No. The throne of Scotland was vacant. There were 13 other competitors for the claim to the throne. And they all struggled against each other instead of united against the king. The fools gave in to him one by one. Eventually, they even had to ask him to choose the new king.
Who did he choose?
No one. The old fox knew the game of politics all right. He took the crown of Scotland to London. And the English grip on Scotland grew tighter and tighter. Only Robert the Bruce, Earl of Carrick, had the courage to stand up and fight. But he made one great mistake. He trusted the word of John Comyn the Red, another competitor for the throne. But John Comyn was false.
There are some things in life not even kings can change. Thank the Lord. Such a tortured land. And yet so good, so strong, so wet. Never fear, Bruce. The sun will shine on Scotland again. You'll do it then? You'll pledge your land, all of them, and your estates. Common. John, as rivals, we could fight for the rest of our lives as our fathers and our grandfathers did. What would we achieve? I swear to you, only together can we make a difference. Maybe. I don't ask you to fight for me, Colin. I ask you to fight with me. For Scotland. There is no other way. Aye. No other way. I'll bring in my men. Will Douglas join? Douglas, fight? Think he'd fight his own grandmother. Then it's agreed. Till we meet. I'll ride with the Douglas. Expect our Shrove Tuesday. I'll be ready.
Your visitor, my liege.
Thank you, Gloucester. Where's your master, Aubrey?
Under the circumstances, he thought it best if he were not seen here.
Always the cautious one.
I'm sure your majesty will understand.
Perhaps.
That is not to say that he is not eager to conclude the pact.
But he understands the bargain.
Yes. Fully. He will arrange for both armies to be at Tweeddale Bridge on Ash Wednesday for the rendezvous.
The crown of Scotland, Your Majesty.
Rather miserable prize for so much trouble.
It is his by rights.
I know of a man who might dispute that.
He will be dead, my liege.
I do hope so.
You have my assurance.
Good.
The audience is over.
So our young friend is to have another tilt at the throne of Scotland. Scotland. It's such a stupid little country.
It's not the country that interests me. It's him. I'm going to finish him this time.
Despite all his previous failures, the Bruce would never give in to English domination. Once more, word was sent out of a new alliance, and the word travelled fast from all over Scotland. The nobles rallied to his call. John Comyn the Red and the Black Douglas, his two principal supporters, brought their forces to assemble at Bruce's castle, ready for one last great attempt to win the freedom of the nation.
Aye, this time.
Welcome, brother knight. I knew you wouldn't stand by.
How could you ever doubt me? I'm your servant, Bruce.
And his lord said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. I shall make you ruler over many things." That's Matthew chapter 25, verse 23.
Favoritism? Is that favoritism? You know my claims are stronger.
Time enough to choose a new king, boy. But to win back your country first.
Oh, we'll win. We'll win! Eh? Come on, Wesherton, who's it to be? The good-looking one? Strongest one? The wisest one? Or common? Common! I'm ready. Where's the crown?
Remember who holds the crown. Fight the good fight, and the Lord will send him home with his tail between his legs to collect it. Meantime, it's only he who can foresee the end. May he smile upon you, Bruce. May he smile upon you, boy.
He's smiling! He's smiling! Friends, let's prepare.
heard of it, Nigel. You can't.
Come now, sister.
He's too young, and you promised Father.
I promised him I would regain the throne. If he was here, he would approve. Nigel isn't a baby anymore.
Leave him behind.
I gave the boy my word. I can't.
Can what?
See? What more can I say?
Nigel, please.
Yeah. That's better. I think I need a smaller helmet or a bigger head.
Robert, think again. Leave him behind.
Mary, I've given...
Commons says you must leave now.
Oh, what is this? The market square is in the village. This is a private chamber.
But Commons says...
No buts, thank you. Maxwell, have you prepared a ballad for the occasion?
Aye, I have that.
Good. We'll go and get ready to sing it. Tell Common I'll be with him shortly. Nigel, Mary, could I possibly say farewell to my wife in peace?
Who does he think he is? The king or something?
Oh, shoot!
Good to have a family around you.
Aye.
Maybe when you get back, we should think about starting one of our own.
Aye. We'll need to be prince and princess, eh? Your niece is getting awfully lonely.
This time, I'm sure. Elizabeth? Nothing.
They'll be fine.
You and I have fought and marched in more campaigns than I care to remember. I know every line in your wrinkled, ugly old faces. We have seen Jerusalem together. You have always been faithful to me. With all the world to choose from, too many times have we returned to Scotland. A prize of as much value as a beggar's piss pot. The arsehole of the universe. And now it seems that once more, I must lead you back there. But this time, you will have your reward in full. All the plunder you can carry. Let everyone understand. I hereby decree that the whole nation is hereby outlawed. You may do with them as you wish. Their lands, houses, wives, chattel, gods, children belong to you. Take what you will, destroy what you will. Lest I be misunderstood, we fly the Serpent Banner. Against he and all his nation, the laws of chivalry are hereby suspended. Be they men, women, or children, they are no longer Christians. You may treat them as infidels and put them to the sword. They shall have no quarter. Vengeance shall be mine.
you, Robert. Some are saying I should renew my claim to the throne. Have we got time to change the pact?
Oh, don't worry. When the time comes, half of Scotland will be yours.
Ah, lands. Turn it around, man. You have my estates, I'll have the crown. That way you can have the easy life, eh?
You want the kingship? A lifetime of greedy courtiers and squabbling nobles, and the assassin's knife waiting in the darkness when you sleep. You want that? Oh, you're welcome to it. But remember, I can unite the army, Common. That's why I have to be king.
Well said.
If we fought Edward with as much vigor as we fight amongst ourselves, he'd never dare show his face north of the border.
Oh, he'll dare.
But now we have the pact. Now that we're allies, we'll have all the glory that we had in the Holy Land.
Glory? We don't need glory. We need an end to Edward's grip on the throat of Scotland. What this nation needs is peace. That'll be glory enough.
Ah, but the Crusades. Imagine the feel of your sword in the gut of the heathen.
Cold steel makes very little distinction between Christian and heathen. You'll find out soon enough that one man's guts are just the same as another's. We're all men, Nigel. Even the English.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. But keep your sword sharp, Nigel. For you too might go one day to the Holy Land, the very edge of the world.
Wisherton, he was there, eh?
Aye, he was the leader of the Knights Templar for 20 years. To hear him banging on his sermons, you'd think he was still on a crusade.
And did you see it?
What?
The edge of the world.
Oh, aye.
You never did. He never did. Well, what happened?
I fell off.
See? If you want to go on a crusade, you have to be careful.
Very funny. Why didn't you go, eh? How come you missed out on all that?
There was always too much to do here. But I've made a pact with God. When Scotland is free, I will go to the Holy Land to honour his mercy. Common's right. Every knight must...
Douglas! Have you taken leave of your senses?
No, but you have. There's not a guard to be seen anywhere round this camp. Edward would have his work easy if he had the wit. Then where is Scotland's future?
Edward is in Berwick, 100 miles distant. Even a man in league with the devil would have to fly to cover that much ground.
Never heard of spies? Assassins?
Oh, I ken them both. And if it's spies you're after, I have the best on either side of the border. He's in Berwick even now, watching the English. And if Edward so much as sneezes, I'll know he has a cold even before that bitch of a wife.
Edward is as cunning as a fox. He never sleeps. We should be vigilant.
You're right as usual, old friend. Set guards on the perimeter, never less than two together, 200 yards apart. We'll move against them tomorrow.
No! You did have a fright, didn't you, Sir Robert? The men have marched long and hard. They have much to do. We are perfectly safe here. I say we should stick to our original plan. For God's sake, Douglas, let the men rest!
They all rest when their king rests.
Their future king, and no one to guard his slumber. Edward's dream come true. Do you think I'm stupid? I've told you. I have the best spy master in Scotland.
Best? Slimiest?
Fine, fine. I'll set the guard. And all you do is deprive honest men of sleep.
And so, deceived by false counsel, the army of Scotland waited and gathered its strength, but Comyn's spies were already at work.
Well?
They are here, Your Majesty. As promised. Camped by the bridge. Like babes in arms.
What about the guards?
None. They think they are safe. Somehow they got the strange idea that Your Majesty is still at Berwick.
Shall I give the order?
Yes. it's time to close the trap.
Now, the secret weapon. First, you get low with the sword. Then, it's the dagger. And finally, the secret weapon.
Oh, the age of chivalry lives on, eh? The gospel of war according to Nigel Bruce. You want to learn how to fight, son? I'll show you. First of all, you get the spirit of the stag. Eh? Feel the pride of your ancestors coursing through your veins. The hatred of the English. Then, you drink. The water of life. And when you've drunk, then and only then, mind, eh? Then, you dance!
Undone. There's no chance. Stick to the hills. Our signs will be the thistle. With me. Save yourself. We will have revenge. And I'll be first to scream.
The most complete victory I've ever seen, Father. Shall we deal with Comyn now?
I have harried the Scots till they beg for mercy. As from this day, I shall declare that Scotland is no longer a nation, but a province of England. My blessing, John Comyn the Red will sit upon the throne. But make no mistake, he is my servant. He may wear the crown, but he does so under my sufferance. I am the power in this land now. And soon it'll pass over to you. I'm not a well man. I'm paying the price for too many campaigns.
He's not there. The Bruce is not amongst them.
He's dead. Comyn struck the blow. I saw him.
Without a corpse, we don't know if the vermin is dead. I want it verified. See to it, Edward. I want to see him dead! Do you hear me? Dead!
send you to help me! Here, man! It's Carrick, for God's sake! It's your lord and master! Don't die. Please, God, don't die.
Where's Bruce? Said, where is he?
Here's your Bruce!
This is not what we agreed. We did not concede on a piece of paper what we did not concede on a battlefield, sir. This is not the arrangement we had. This is not what we agreed.
It will be here before we get to the agreed.
This will not be agreed. What we will not do is sign away on a piece of paper what is our right. The English are our natural enemy, and this will remain the case. We will never concede one yard of Scottish soil, neither on a piece of paper of Scottish territory, neither on the battlefield or on a piece of paper, because that is not our arrangement, sir. On a piece of paper or on the battle.
With everything that's...
Is it true, Comyn?
Aye. We fought to the end. They were too strong for us. Slain.
Control yourself, woman. You're not the only one who lost today.
How dare you?
What now?
Now we make peace.
No! You know the law. Only the king can treat for the country.
True. With Bruce gone, only my claim survives.
Silence.
and I shall make a lasting peace with Edward.
You cannot make such a choice in haste. In good time, the Lord will let his will be known to us all. The wise gospel of the Blessed John teaches all of us who still wish to care. When the Spirit of truth has come, he will guide you into all truth. For he will not speak on his own authority. He will tell you things to come. He will declare it to you. That's John chapter 16, verse 13.
That's all very well. But I say common for the throne. Are you with me?
Never. I'll never submit to this. This is a recipe for villainy and no mistake. What do we got here, MacDonald? Is this an accident?
Say what you will. You have heard the council. We shall have come.
Then you can find another to crown him. I withdraw from this council.
No! Don't go! We need you here!
How unfortunate. But life goes on. Now, we must make haste.
Agreed. We still have a quorum.
So, the coronation shall be in 7 days. Do I hear you say aye?
Aye.
This is treason! May the Lord have mercy upon you all! For I shall have none as God is my witness!
Good day, Your Grace.
Good day. There's nothing good about this day. This whole rotten country's corrupt to the core, do you know that? There's not one honest man between here and Inverness. And you can stop that blithering row. Blown by the ill winds of fate, the Bruce came close to giving up his long fight for the throne.
But he did continue.
Oh, yes.
What made him go on?
A spider, as he lay in a cave, pursued by his enemies, and beset by visions of his tormentors, his gaze fell upon a spider building his web.
A spider? I thought maybe a lion or a dragon.
Humble creatures, too, play a part in God's scheme. Every time the spider fell, it gathered its strength and tried again.
So, the spider led him on.
Perhaps the Bruce saw in this tiny creature a divine message, telling him to try again. If this humble spider could display such a resolution, surely the Bruce could go on. The time had come to act.
There's a lot to do in 7 days. I'm still not sure if officially I'm allowed to arrange the coronation.
Officially, technically, spare me the details, Aubrey. Expediency is the word. Have you ever seen a king uncrowned?
But there are traditions. Things to be observed. Now, let's see. The bride, the queen. The queen sits on...
Stop dithering, man.
I am not dithering. We have to get this right. Is Edward sending the crown back? I think Wisherton had a plain one made. He drew funds from the council. I'll go and ask the abbot.
Aye.
Here for the coronation? You're not on the list. Remember where you are, Bruce. We're on hallowed ground. I also have the friendship of Edward of England. So may I suggest that you turn around, go back to Carrick, collect that devious old bishop of yours, and start packing. I have witnesses.
Come back. I knew it. And Nigel. True.
He was a dog. He deserved to die.
Not on holy ground. That's sacrilege.
Is it really? What the hell do I care?
Don't mention that word. What will happen?
Excommunication. Banishment. Execution.
They can't. You were in the right.
What does that matter? We'll never unite the country now. Edward will have us all in chains.
I don't call that justice. I'm sure sure the Church can be persuaded to forgive you?
I don't think they'll want to forgive me.
When a dead man walks into his own castle, he could be forgiven for crying witchcraft. Surely Edward of England would have got to know of his return. The Bruce knew what to do. With his main enemy inside the country out of the way, he had to find Bishop Wisserton and obtain his consent to crown him King of Scotland. Only then would he have the strength to unite the country and face Edward.
His Lordship.
I'd say welcome, Bruce. But I'm not sure who's host here.
That remains to be seen.
Aye. Am I your prisoner?
Don't be absurd. We've known each other far too long.
I thought I knew you.
You said you'd support me.
I said I'd support you when the time was right. Nobody said anything about murder, sacrilege, criminal impatience.
He betrayed you too. I had no choice.
There are always choices, Bruce. You picked the wrong one. Perhaps you should think less about Bruce the King, more about Scotland the Kingdom. Have you thought about the wrath of Edward? Surely I don't need to tell you, of all people. You have split the country in two and invited Edward to pick out its guts. I thank you for that, Bruce. People of Scotland thank you.
I don't have to listen to this.
Oh, yes, you do. Your soul needs me. Your soul needs me very badly right now. I'm the only one that can crown you King of Scotland.
You'd still do it.
There may be no other choice. I cannot condone what you have done. But for the sake of the country, I will give you absolution. I will crown you, Bruce. The scriptures have it, as Paul wisely noted in his first epistle to Timothy, according to the prophecies previously made concerning you, that you will make good warfare.
I shall, Wisherton. I shall. Will you fight with us?
No, I cannot. I once swore in the Holy Land that I would never take up arms against Edward of England. He was once a good man. I cannot break those vows. But I can crown you, Bruce.
When?
Palm Sunday.
bed, Elizabeth.
I can't. Every time I close my eyes, they're there.
Who's there?
You know.
Forget your dreams, Elizabeth. You're going to be queen.
I can sense it. You know I've been right before.
You may not be right this time.
It's more than that. It's against the will of God.
No. We have God on our side.
How do you know that? You've got to ask someone, Robert.
What can I do to convince you?
I feel as if I'm losing my mind.
Don't worry. I understand.
No, you don't! I'm being warned. You should not take that crown.
That cannot be. We're so near.
You can. I'll have no part of it.
Let all those gathered here bear witness to the crowning of Robert Bruce, Earl of Carrick, future and only King of Scotland. I have this day received a papal bull of excommunication against Robert. Let nobody doubt that as long as I am head of God's church in Scotland, it will remain unserved. Robert remains a just and loving part of our holy Catholic community. He has won the right to the crown through force of arms and the blessing of God. By the placing of this bandlet of gold upon his anointed head, may all good men see that Scotland has a king once again, by the grace of God.
Hail Robert, King of Scots!
5 times I have fought Edward for Scotland's freedom. I give you my word, my oath, my bond. I shall shed the last drop of my blood to secure our ancient rights and liberties. By the power of my sword, Scotland shall be free. It will take all our courage if we are to gain our liberty. I understand your pain. I too have suffered loss. But with courage and valor we shall win through. Think hard upon it. And trust in our Lord Jesus Christ.
He's alive. He's alive.
You confirmed that he was dead. You verified it.
I did.
He's alive! This vermin is alive! Clear the hall, De Boon! Go, Gloucester, clear them all out! Get them out!
Still alive? He murders a brother knight in the house of God, and you reported to me that he was dead? Then who killed Comyn? Who was it? A ghost? A damn ghost! Am I never to be rid of this viper? He's like an ulcer gnawing at my innards! And you, my so-called son, you can't even do me that one small service!
I did, Father. You've seen the proof.
You're a liar! And kings don't lie! I've half a mind to disinherit you. And don't think I wouldn't do it! You're not fit to wear this! You're not fit to rule!
De Boon saw him killed. But I will go back there. We will go back there.
What's this? We? What are you? Hey, some child? Chaperone! What is this? Hey! You're my son! Understand that? You're a prince! You're a prince, a damn prince!
Edward!
Get up. I'll have to do it. Get up.
Get up! I don't want to see you again until the army's ready to march. You understand me? Get out.
He was killed.
Get out! Just you and me. No, please. No, please, no. I don't want anyone to see me. Please. Oh, help me to lie down.
Let it go, Edward. Let Scotland go.
I need one more year to finish my work. You'll never beat me.
You can't fight him this time. You must leave it to your son.
No, he's not my son. He's not my son. I shall disinherit him. He's not fit to rule.
He's a very capable young man. And he will make a fine king. You're going to disinherit your own flesh and blood.
Oh, no, but he just needed a warning.
Be careful, Edward. Harsh words spoken in haste can do a great deal of harm.
A midnight feast, De Boon? I'm surprised you still have the appetite.
I'm sure the king will be interested to learn how little disturbed you are by his distress. I feel he would rather you got your hands on something a little less yielding.
It's late.
Yes, and you are still breathing. You should have been flayed alive by now. Oh, dress yourself, de Boon. I can't take a half-naked man seriously.
The entertainment is over. It's time to frighten more than a few whores.
You made me look an idiot in front of my own father. That viper is drawing the very lifeblood from the greatest king this country has ever seen, and I get the blame.
Your Majesty.
Wait. We haven't finished.
You shall take a small force of picked men and surprise his castle.
How?
Stealth, de Boon. There's a way into his castle that the children use. It's never guarded. Remove a few stones and you and your men will be inside. Unexpected visitors. I'll arrange for it to be made known to you.
If he slips the net again, take his wife and family. His whole family. Anyone. Just don't leave the line of Bruce to flourish and mock us.
To ensure the complete element of surprise, you shall travel by sea. Land on the coast near his castle. And then drop in to pay your respects. Should we write it down for you, de Boon,
When you do find him, cut his throat. Slowly. I want to know he died in extreme pain. Then bring me the heart. Oh, and de Boon, make sure it's his this time.
King's Bruce. It's the work of a lifetime. You need to learn patience. You need to learn skills. You need to learn warfare. And you need to learn wisdom.
I thought I'd learned enough lessons to last a lifetime. And just when it looks as if things are getting no worse, this.
Elizabeth. She's nervous, naturally. Who wouldn't be? She's about to ascend to the throne of the whole of the northern world now. You think of that, Bruce. You think of that. Life changes.
I'd give everything for life to be as it were.
Bruce, you mustn't falter. The whole of the country is relying upon you.
Maxwell, what happened?
The English. They fell on us. They've taken the castle. And they have Elizabeth and Marjorie.
Would you stop?
I'm the only one!
He's a loyal and trusted servant. I'm sure he did everything in his power. Bruce.
They spared me. So that you could hear their challenge.
What challenge?
If you haven't come from them by Midsummer's Day, Edward will kill them both.
With his brother slain, and his wife now a prisoner of Edward, the Bruce now had to prepare for the greatest struggle of his life. Once more the call went out to raise every man to fight for Scotland. Even those who had once betrayed his men surged forth to answer his call.
Come to serve our rightful king.
Understand your anger, Bruce. We're honest men. We were led astray.
Honest? You stretch the definition to its very limits?
We'll pay our debts. With our lives if need be. I've assembled all my kinfolk from the kingdom. Your Majesty.
You trust them behind you? Very well. Keep them well in reserve.
For 5 long years, the Bruce fought the forces of Edward. One by one, the towns and castles of Scotland fell to him. But always the most treasured prize eluded him. Edward still kept his wife as captive.
You must forgive me. Father says things in haste. Things he regrets.
I know.
You must promise me. Finish my work.
I will, Father.
Eleanor.
Yes, dear.
I feel so tired. So tired.
And go to sleep, dear. Just go to sleep. The king is dead. Long live the king.
God save the king. the old king dead, Bishop Wisserton was freed from it oath. He could take up arms again and rally the scattered forces of his holy order.
Was that the turning point?
No, that was to come from humbler roots.
And the Bruce?
He was in despair. He had captured every castle in Scotland, but he had not found his wife. What do you see?
Oh, one of our subjects in as much trouble as we are. Trying to build his little home and live in peace. You're just like me. Trying and failing.
This time you'll win.
6 times I've tried. 6 times I've failed.
You'll succeed. Don't you sense it?
I can sense the loss of my brother, the loss of my family, the loss of my hope.
He'll try again. So should you.
If I fail, I'll lose everything.
We all do. Sometimes it's better than to have no life at all.
I'm terrified of losing.
I know. But every tide must turn.
What's all this, Wisserton?
There's life in the old dog yet.
Your vow?
I'm free. Edward is dead.
Dead? How?
The Lord's displeasure, I warrant. Bruce. Your country needs you. Now is the hour, boy. This time, no mistakes.
Will you be advised, Edward?
Mother, you're the only person I can trust. What should I do?
Much as I despise Scotland, I think you must go back there one last time.
But Father threw away his life there. Must I do the same?
No, you see, it is quite simple, really. Now that the Bruce has rallied his army, he will be feeling bold enough to try and rescue his wife.
We are losing our grip on Scotland, day by day. He will probably succeed.
Not if the Lady Bruce is incarcerated at Stirling. Not even the rats can penetrate those walls.
So we keep one castle in Scotland while he captures everything else. What then? What then? Does he invade us?
No, your Majesty invades. Not piecemeal like your father. You march with your whole army. The largest army in the world to meet him. Bruce will come to Stirling if his wife is there. He cannot storm it. He will have to lay siege. Fall on him there with the full might of England. as befits a strong English king, and crush him once and for all.
Still no sign of him?
He'll come. He has to come. If he loses Stirling, then he's lost Scotland.
A good defensive position might help.
No. If he is to relieve the castle, Edward must attack. Now we should bide our time. Let him come to us. We won't give him any space. Keep him penned in by the river. The horse traps should do the rest. Now, Douglas, when the time is right, you must destroy the archers. You do that, and we shall carry the day.
I only have 500 horse. According to the word, Edward has 20,000.
20,000 they may have, but if they cannot charge, they cannot fight. We will come. Aye. And we should be ready. Now is the hour. It is not for glory, or honor, or riches that we fight this day. We fight for freedom alone, which no man will willingly give up, but with his life. See, even now, your enemy approaches. Proud Edward brings with him the chains of slavery. Why? They have not lands here, or homes here, and yet they come here to make this nation their own. We alone can stop them. If there are those among you who do not have the will to fight, you may leave now with no dishonor. But honest men who value freedom above all else will carry the fight this day. But if we stay, we must be ready to do or to die.
people of Scotland had been drawn to the Bannockburn. Men, women and children all sensed that the decisive moment had come. One fact they could all clearly see was that the Bruce's army lacked cavalry. As they awaited the onslaught, the Scots spearmen knew they would have to carry the day against the full weight of the mounted knights.
See? They kneel. Do they ask for mercy?
Not your mercy. They ask for God's mercy. They win, or they die.
Then so be it.
You could still agree a bargain when they see your power.
A bargain? With that rabble? We give battle, we give no quarter, and we give no mercy. For my father.
tightly packed ranks of spearmen held them at bay. But Edward had more men at his call, and fresh charges of mounted knights were now supported by foot soldiers, and scores of archers made the skies turn black with their shafts.
Second rank, stand ready! Advance! Ladies are coming again!
As the army began to waver, the poor folk of the kingdom watched in despair from a hill above the field. With the day all but lost, they knew that the time had come for one last gesture of defiance.
Quick, make some banners!
The small folk, as they were known, made banners from their humble garments, and with rough weapons gallantly gathered their meagre strength to add to the battle. The hour of judgment had arrived.
Coronation fights. The whole nation must fight!
It was then that the miracle happened. In the thick of the fight, the English soldiers didn't recognize they were being attacked by an army of camp followers. They saw the flags and banners and the mass of charging humanity. In their minds' eyes, they imagined a whole new army had joined the battle, and the will to fight began to melt. By his great victory at Bannockburn, Robert the Bruce had won the freedom of his country. He was to rule Scotland in peace and justice until his death in 1329. Bruce was never to make his crusade, but his dying wish was that his heart should be carried to the Holy Land, there to be cast into the midst of his enemies. So, in death, as in life, the spirit of the Bruce led on at the head of his people